Alright, here's the scenario. You love playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You love playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with a GameCube controller. But you're always on the go. What's a gamer to do? SADES may have your answer. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Steve from the APG, and before we get started with today's segment, if you like this video and others on our channel, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. So today we'll be looking at SADES Joy-Con pad for the Nintendo Switch. Personally, I'm not familiar with SADES as a company, but apparently they are a peripheral company that makes all types of devices from Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox, and even PC. This controller is not exclusive to Smash, of course, but if you're going to play a GameCube controller, more than likely it's going to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let's get started with an unboxing. Here we go. Let's open this bad boy up. So this is it. Let's see. That's how it fits in my hand. And I'll show up close shots of these real quick, but this is how it looks in my hand. Well, before we go to comparisons, let's take a look at this. This is just USB charger. So you see the straps, and just hold it like this. Like that. Some comparisons. These a little different. This is more flat over here. That's LNR. So let's take a look at what I mean. So this is the left hand side, and the controller is very similar design. The D-pad, this is like the other buttons, a lot more flat. This is more raised. And then, okay. All right, so now this is the regular Joy-Cons. You already see the difference. Just for those who are curious, this does not fit on the GameCube type controllers. You see how this fits in together like this? Unless you somehow break this, it can't fit. So, no mas. Just for those who are curious. So, after spending over a week playing with SADES Joy-Con pad, would I recommend it? Surprisingly, yes. When I first received the Joy-Con pad in the mail, I didn't have high hopes. But after playing for a while, it actually impressed me. What I love most about the Joy-Con pad is that it has all the same features as your standard Joy-Con controller, except for one. It's lacking the IR sensor that's usually at the bottom of the right Joy-Con, and games like 1-2 Switch wouldn't be able to utilize it, so there are certain games you may not want to have in mind when playing with this controller. But everything else is good to go. It has a gyro sensor, so games like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, you won't miss a beat. The controller is very comfortable, even though it's actually around the same size as your standard Joy-Con. I'll be honest, I didn't feel any discomfort in long sessions, which is surprising. My hands don't cramp up like it normally would on a standard Joy-Con. That could be due in part to the design where it's more curved on the sides, which may help with that. Also on the sides of the controller, you have a USB port on each side. So for whatever reason, you can charge your controllers separately without having to attach it to the system with using any third-party charger, which comes in handy and is actually a pretty good move, especially if you're on the go. The buttons feel responsive and they feel good. You have a control stick that's very reminiscent to the Gamecube, and even though it's not one-to-one, it emulates it very well. You have your dedicated D-pad for fighting games and 2D games, and everything else just feels good. But I have some minor gripes, just very few. The first thing that I wish could be different on the Joy-Con pad is that the dedicated button layout over here, I wish the buttons weren't so flat. If you notice on the GameCube controller, the buttons are actually protruding from the base, as well as the GameCube controller, or let's just say Switch controller. The buttons are actually very flat, which is an odd decision. It definitely would have been more comfortable had it been convex. So I have to take points off for that. That's kind of an odd decision. I would say probably the worst aspect of the controller is the rumble. I kid you not, the rumble is probably the worst rumble I've heard in any controller. And I had to turn it off because I just couldn't stand listening to it, feeling it, and it literally sounds like RoboCop's servos are on this fritz. This mechanism that just makes noise, and it's very distracting. It's very noisy. It sucks. So that's probably the biggest downer of it, that the rumble is very cheap. Overall, I'd recommend it. Whether you're a Smash Brothers fan or a GameCube enthusiast, or you're a Switch player just looking for a different type of controller, I don't think you can go wrong with this. It's a good controller. I found it on Amazon for $50, so I believe that's the going price. Would you buy SADES Joy-Con pad? Let me know down in the comments below. This is Steve from the 8BG. Thank you for watching.